So here we are. I think we kind of made it. We had a little hiccups here and there, but here it is, the final round of Swiss round number 6. None other than Pokecrafter versus Qlaziks. One of these players potentially on the bubble of not making it, so these guys definitely want to win.
And we see the Pocus coming through.
Yeah, and it looks really good, but really bad at the same time. You got the Scunch there, you could one-shot, but you got the 2 vines staring you straight in the face. I don't think you die from a Crystal Plume, but if you overextend and think the Scunch is gonna stay, then you're taking that CPG for no good reason. So it's a tricky first turn for sure. I'm really interested how it's going to play out, but let's keep focusing on the draft for now.
We do see Vola for Qlaziks and Wolfie for Misty Rain, Pokecrafter.
Yeah, Poke's doing really well. I think both of these tamers are 3-2 right now, so they're trying to squeeze into that top 16 spot. Both of them picking up the Wolfie, not too bad. It looks like both of them getting the Qlaziks, so similar pickups here. And there we go, Mastion to try to check the Qlaziks, but be careful, the Wolfie with those does Vortex.
Yeah, so now turn 1. I'm not sure what Pocus's base stats are. I don't know if it has enough speed that it wants to try and stay in and do some damage, but I know that it is far too squishy to survive a Crystal Plume Gatling.
Yeah, I think it does survive 1. I think it's TV trained enough to survive 1, but it's a bit too risky. I mean, the Scunch can easily become a Volrin, easily become something like a Wolfie, or Qlaziks for that matter, so it's a bit too risky. I don't think it's worth staying in, so I'm thinking both players are gonna be making the safe bet here, swapping out their effective, or you know, the Temtems that are most pressure right here, because this is rough. But the thing is, it's almost a thing of who flinches and who doesn't, because if the Scunch stays in, it's still gonna be so impactful in this game, a P-Jab CPG. But okay, going with the safe play, bringing out the Wolfie here. What did Pokey want to do? Okay, solid. Both players playing safe.
I almost would have liked to see Qlaziks leaving Scunch in, kind of knowing that there's too much pressure for that Pocus, and trying to do a PJ Crystal Plume Gatling.
Yeah, and that would have been, of course, the super 5-head play, but if the Pocus stayed in and beta bursted the Scunch, that would have one-shot the Scunch. So Qlaziks saying a little bit too risky for my taste, plays it a bit safe, and just gets solid damage onto the Wolfie. And Pokecrafter with the beautiful read gets the CPG eaten alive from the Mastion. Crystal into fire, half damage of course. So now Pokecrafter has to be careful though. Wolfie came in last turn. Does Vortex is online. If that's a max special attack Wolfie, Mastion is dropping all the way down. So I think Pokecrafter realizes this, switches into a Wolfie of his own.
Indeed, we do see the Dust Vortex coming through. Wolfie the only one on Pokey's team that really wants to take that. But the Noxious Bomb going towards Wolfie instead does a lot of damage, and we do see this is an anaerobic bird, so it could certainly be tanky later on. Feather Gatling though doing a lot of damage where the Dust Vortex failed a little bit. Swiper down below 50%.
Yeah, so you did call it, Rawrzyy. It is an anaerobic bird, so that hyperkinetic strike not as hard hitting as our aerobic bird. So even a hyperkinetic strike, the Wolfie felt a bit flimsy though, so maybe enough, but of course already down special attack -1. I don't think it kills here, so maybe that's not the line of play. You're probably better off going with a Feather Gatling.
Oh, but we do see the Plague towards Duvine. Nice little bit of damage with the handcuffs, trapping him in. And the Feather Gatling onto this Volarand. Another nice read, 50 24% remaining. That's a doppelganger Volaren from Pokecrafter.
Yeah, huge damage. The doppelganger is always catching people by surprise. And wow, the plague doing so much, overexerting the 2-vine. So that's pretty huge there. The fact that Volaren just took that amount of damage, that means a 1-2 hit from Pokecrafter here. The plague followed by the feather gatling one more time will most likely take the Volaren down, and since 2-vine just overexerted, you don't have to worry about it. So Volaren not feeling too comfortable here, and anything in the back line, a plague feather gatling is going to be doing solid damage. So Pokey a little bit in the advantageous position as it stands here in turn number 4.
Wolfie just threatens so much with this plague and dust vortex, but we do see Qlaziks coming out for the sandstorm. A fantastic read, so much damage.
Wow,
Qlaziks down into the red already.
Wow, that is a speed attack Qlaziks, because it went so low from a sandstorm, which doesn't even hit that hard. The AoE attack does not hit that hard, and it did over 50%. So that is either a speedy Qlaziks, I think it's like speed attack, because there is not too much HP invested in there.
Yeah, Qlaziks from 100 to 0 almost very quickly. 14% remaining. Qlaziks now with 2 Tems in the red. A Volaren who's very much in danger. 2-vine who's getting down there on health, and Scunch who still has to worry about this Pocus.
Yeah, Pokey's just making all the right reads so far as it stands. Volaren didn't overexert here, so I'm wondering if he wants to overexert quite heavily to try to close the Qlaziks out with something like a hyperkinetic strike. But it might be too risky if it comes out. But Qlaziks kind of wants to hook kick Wolfie straight in the face, so I know Qlaziks wants that attack. And of course, if Volaren stays in, the 2-vine feather gatling definitely kills it because of that overexertion.
I don't know if I like Volaren overexerting for this right now. I think that the doppelganger is going to be very good later on against Qlaziks Vola. So we do see Mastion coming out, potentially taking feather gatlings, but the hook kick does go towards Wolfie. Doesn't swap anything in there. I was half expecting the Pocus or Qlaziks swap, but instead we see Wolfie going down and Mastion down below 50%.
Yeah, and you know, the fact that Wolfie just went down there while he still had a 3 prio plague up as always, just confirms that is quite the speedy Qlaziks, outspeeding a 3 prio Wolfie. Insane stuff. That Qlaziks is insanely fast. But Mastion's here, and it ate up feather gatling decently well. But Meteor Swarm is online, so if no one deals with Mastion here, Meteor Swarm's gonna be doing heavy damage this coming turn.
Yeah, Qlaziks has a few swaps that could potentially eat that Meteor Swarm a little bit better. Well, certainly than 2-vine and Qlaziks would. But that's kind of a big risk, because then you're bringing in, I mean, Volaren really doesn't want to eat that. Scunch would be put in danger then. You know, and this Qlaziks can also throw an attack out into either spot. We do see Qlaziks and Qlaziks side swapping for the Scunch, though. Doesn't want to lose it that quickly, but the double gash is enough to bring 2-vine down. And the Meteor Swarm, he would have been better off using the Ember, but of course there's no way that he could have known. Meteor Swarm doing 38%, a nice little chunk of damage onto Scunch.
Yeah, just in case the double gash wasn't enough, of course it was, as Mr. Jackie Chan did enough, so took it down. So Meteor Swarm, just for safety measures, still does solid damage onto Scunch, of course. So what is online, I want to see it if it's able to come online, but I think something like Ninja Jutsu is now online, so maybe you're not going to get it. But the Flaming Meteorite, I want to see a heavy hitting Flaming Meteorite this game. Is Pokecrafter gonna deliver on that? I think it's a bit ambitious if Scunch does have a ninja jutsu. Okay.
I'd love to see if Savage Suplex is enough. Mastion goes down. No more flaming meteorites this turn. And the Feather Gatling towards Qlaziks. A little bit of damage, 20%, not too bad, as we do see the Aerobic Bird increasing his speed just in time for the Crystal Bite to come in and knock him into the red. Ooh, now we have the Pocus coming through.
Yeah, I think Pokecrafter is playing this quite well, realizing I have the Pocus to check the Scunch, so focus up the damage on the other slot there. He does have Sharp Stab, that is a 3 prio play, but of course Aerobic being a +1 speed, the Hyperkinetic Strike is definitely coming online, or sorry, gonna be deployed here. The question is, how do you want to eat it? Cause you need your Pocus for the Scunch, Jackie Chan for the Wolfie. Do you sacrifice your own Voloran perhaps?
This Voloran does have +1 special defense, and Qlaziks' Voloran is only +1 speed. There's the potential that it'll survive, but we don't see any swaps. Hyperkinetic going towards Pocus does so much damage, not quite enough to kill just yet.
Yeah, so nice play coming out from Pokey, realizing that you're not going to confirm a kill from the HKS. So what is going to be confirmed is the double kill here. So Sharp Stab taking care of the Voloran, and then the Beta Burst taking care of the Wolfie. So Scunch Qlaziks down to the final 2. So Scunch, there's nowhere left to run. If this is a speedy Pocus, may be able to, but I'm pretty sure Qlaziks on Qlaziks side might have a Sharp Stab, so Pokey has to be careful about that for sure.
And Sharp Stabs, and I believe Ninja Jutsu is also online, as Scunch did use Savage Suplex instead earlier. So certainly Pocus does not have the priority this turn. It might be smarter to swap out to this Voloran and let it take a hit, and that is indeed what we see happen. Pocus retreating from battle, doesn't want to lose it just yet, expecting some pretty big hits going towards Voloran as the Sharp Stabs does come through, and a perfect jab, so the Ninja Jutsu is still going to be there.
And man, the B-Jab hitting so hard, even though it's just supposed to do light damage. That's just the Brawny. That's just, let me see the item. That's the resistant badge. So much stab on top of stab bonus.
Yes, now Qlaziks down to his final Tem, a Scunch versus Voloran, Pocus, and Qlaziks. It's certainly possible, but it will be difficult. Sharp Stabs knocking Scunch down below 30%, but the Savage Suplex does come out, taking Qlaziks down.
Yeah, it should be a Feather Gatling, probably closes things out, but going with a solid Noxious Bomb, 30%, is it there? And it is, so Pokecrafter getting the victory over Qlaziks. GG, so perhaps Pokey securing a spot in the top 16.